Hey, what's up, everybody? And I'm back with an economic video. And today's topic is price determination. And I know I have not been posting videos in past few days. I was busy with my school work and all. Yeah, and I'm back. So let's go on with our chapter 9 of our economics course 0455. So, what is price determination? As we all know, people are thinking, or they in like once in their life they might have thought, why are the prices set to a specific price? Why is a piece of clothes set to 20 $30, whatever? I'm not that perfect with prices. So, like, why is it so expensive, or why is the price so low or so high? And who sets the price of the product? That's a really uh, good question, because it's really into economics. Like, we need to study economics for this. So what is price determination? What do you mean by price determination? Determination, so basically, how is the price of a product determined? So consumer wants low prices and firms want to sell a product at a higher prices. That's like that's day to day life. Like, let's take a day to day life example. So if you are in a grocery store, and a local grocery store, and uh, the shopkeeper is selling a product at a really high price, or like a price that you don't that does not satisfy you, then you will ask him or her, the shopkeeper, for lower prices, but then the shopkeeper will ask for higher prices. That's normal. Everyone wants to have more money in hand. So both if so does the shopkeeper wants more money, and the consumer wants to spend less, which will give them more money. So they'll bargain, like we all do. Like, we bargain for a product if it's too expensive or out of budget. So we'll bargain, and then if we'll set a price which benefits both the stakeholders. Stakeholders means, in this example, is the consumer and the shopkeeper or the seller. So let's use some numeric values to explain this. So I am going to a shop, and I want a product at $10, but the supplier or the seller is selling it at $20. What would I do, or what will the shopkeeper do? So they'll set at a price which benefits both of them. The consumer wants a lower price from $20, okay? Lower than $20. So we can say $15. And the supplier wants money more than $10. So that would be $15. So it will benefit both stakeholders. So they will benefit, right? Like, the shopkeeper gets $5 extra, and the person saves $5 extra. So that's the one way of determining a price. This can also be set using a demand and supply. Like, we need to study the demand and the supply of the product, and then we need to come at a price that benefits both of them. So when I say demand and supply, then we need to relate it to market equilibrium. So what is market equilibrium? Market equilibrium is the point at which demand and supply is equal, as explained in previous chapters. I guess it was chapter 6, the price mechanism. So we have done market equilibrium in that. Equilibrium price, the price at which demand and supply, or the market equilibrium, is set. or are equal. At this point, there is no shortages or surpluses of a product. Shortages less and surpluses we have more. So yeah, this can be shown on a graph, like the market equilibrium and equilibrium price can be shown on a graph. So let's see the graph. So we have a whole graph over here, and I know this is the first graph that we are doing of demand and supply together. So we have demand as DD and supply as SS. So now see, look at this red dotted line. Okay, can you see that? And we have a point where demand and supply are equal. That's called market E, which is market equilibrium. And now let's look what's the price at that quantity demanded and supplied. It's equilibrium price. So that's the price at which market equilibrium is set. I know it's confusing, equilibrium price and market equilibrium. If I say something wrong, I'm just sorry for that. It's confusing, okay? So yeah, so that was market equilibrium. Now we talked about shortages and supply. There is no shortage or supply if the market equilibrium or is if there is a market equilibrium. So what are shortages? Shortages, it is a disequilibrium because it is not set when where it is like demand and supply are not equal at shortage. So to fulfill the need of having that product, the consumer would pay higher prices. If the consumer pays higher prices, then supplier will see the excess demand and raise the prices, which will increase the supply and reduce the demand. So at when we read this, it means that demand, people are demanding more, consumer would pay higher prices to fulfill their need, which means they're demanding more. But supplier will see that there is an excess demand in the market, and then they will rise the prices, so which will increase the supply and reduce the demand. So that's how we can go back to equilibrium or eliminate shortage. But what is shortage? Shortage is when demand exceeds supply. Okay, so there's a graph about this. So price and quantity, and we have plotted the demand and supply. Now look at this. I have just drawn a small triangle, but we can draw it from S connecting to D, and then market equilibrium. We can connect the bottom triangle, and if anything is on those point, like if we make any line like the red line over here, then that means, or that's not agreeing to the market equilibrium, then that's shortage. Okay, and which is below market equilibrium. Shortages are always below market equilibrium. Shortage means demand exceeds supply. So over here we can see the blue line. Just for an example, the blue line shows more demand, and when it connects to the supply curve, that shows that there is low supply of that quantity. So for example, I am okay, fine, I guess, yeah, I have guests at my place, and I am ordering, like, for example, vegetables, or like I'm buying vegetables from the grocery store or the vendor, vegetable vendor. So I go to that person and then I say I want 20, or wait, let me be practical. Yeah, I want 2 kgs of carrots, but but supply of the vendor has only 1 kg. What will I do? There is a shortage of 1 kg of carrot. So demand is exceeding supply. So 2 kgs is more than 1 kg supplied. So you get the point over there, right? Yeah, so let's move ahead. How to improve equilibrium, or how to get back to equilibrium, or how to eliminate shortages. To improve the shortage or to eliminate the shortage, back to equilibrium price. The market should increase the prices. If we increase the prices, demand will decrease. I was buying those carrots at 2 kgs of carrots at, for example, 10 rupees per kg. I'm not sure about the actual prices, I'm just giving some value. 10 rupees per kg I am buying those carrots, and the person is supplying also, person is supplying the 1 kg at 10 rupees per kg. So if you increase the prices from 10 to 30, I will not buy, right? I will be like, that's so expensive, I won't like to buy it. Everyone will, right? And the supply will be, oh my god, the prices have shooted up, I guess I have a chance, or I have, yeah, I have an opportunity to make more money, so let's increase the supply. Okay, so this will increase the supply and decrease the demand, which will bring the disequilibrium back to market equilibrium and equilibrium prices. So what is surplus? So it is also a disequilibrium where the supply exceeds the demand. So to clear the stock, of course, if there is wait, let me just read it to you. So to clear the stock, the firm will reduce the prices to the equilibrium, back to the equilibrium price, which will increase the demand and reduce the supply. Now, when there is a surplus, like I'm an entrepreneur, and I am selling books. So I'm selling books, and people are not buying those books because the prices are too high for them, so they won't demand for them. So, and I cannot keep those books for too long, then I have to clear the stock so that I can load new ones or something like that. So I got to clear the stocks, or I need to get them sold. So I will reduce the prices. This will increase the demand, and yeah, this will increase the demand and reduce the supply, because the entrepreneur is not making much of profit. And now let's go on to the graph. So look at the triangle. We can connect it from the top left D to top right S, and with market equilibrium. That's the whole triangle that we can connect. But just for an example, I have done this. So anything above the market equilibrium, that is called surplus. Surplus, supply is more than demand. Okay, of course, like the supplier or the entrepreneur is selling 50 units of, they have 50 units of goods with them in their with them in their shop, but they are very, this like minimum, let's say 10 books are sold, or people would like to buy only 10 books. That means that there is 40 extra books. That means there is a surplus. Surplus means more of the product left with them. So that would be a surplus of the product. So I guess we are done with our topic. We'll just move on to questions. And today I will not disclose the answers. Like, I will just put basic keywords. Analyze using a demand and supply diagram. Why will supply of apples will be eliminated? Surplus of apples will be eliminated. Why will this happen? So we need to draw a surplus curve. Let's go back to surplus curve. So we need to draw this curve then we need to show that the supply is decreasing. So we'll draw an arrow that is decreasing, and we'll also draw an arrow that shows that the demand is increasing, which will go, both of them will go down to the market equilibrium. We'll show those arrows, and we'll write quantity of apples as the x-axis and prices of the apples as y-axis. Okay, so why this will be, and now we have drawn the curve. 4 marks in your hand. Proper labeling, proper curves drawn for demand and supply, properly labeled the D and the SS, and we have shown the equilibrium price in the market equilibrium, and we have shown the movement back to the market equilibrium. That's the most important thing that will give you 1 mark. If you don't have those arrows, or if you don't show the change that's happened or has moved back to market equilibrium, then you won't get 1 mark, 1 or 2 marks, you never know. We need to explain this. So why a surplus of apple will be eliminated? Why will this happen? This will happen because there is an increase in price. Demand will increase and supply will decrease. You need to put all of these 3 points in your answer to get 2 to 3 marks for the explanation part from 6. So graph is maximum. Most of the time I've seen the graph is for 4 marks and the explanation is 2 marks, but still you need to explain the price change in demand. What is the change in demand? What is the change in supply? Discuss whether or not consumer will benefit from market being in disequilibrium. Will the consumer be benefited from market being in disequilibrium? What is market disequilibrium? Surpluses or shortages? It's only two of them that causes disequilibrium. So if there is a shortage, what will happen with the what will happen? There is more demand, so shortage will give products at lower prices, but this might not. There would be lower prices in a shortage, but this might not benefit the consumer because not all of them will get those products, because there are limited units available or supplied, so not everyone will get, so not every consumer would be benefited from those shortages, and not everyone will enjoy the low prices. Surpluses, people have wider choices because they have so many units, so they can choose any product that they want. Or if one product's quality is bad, so they can choose another, so they have a wider range. So there is enough of supply, uh, quantity supplied of the good, so they might benefit from that, but they might not benefit from them. Okay, now if there is a shortage, the market will get it back to the market equilibrium. This will increase the prices. People will not be able to enjoy the low prices because now they have to pay high prices. Now this is an advantage. Okay, everyone will have the product in with them, so demand and supply are equal, so everyone have their products. Surpluses, if the market goes back to market equilibrium, then consumers will be benefited with lower prices now, because the price was set high, and there was a disequilibrium, so now they can enjoy the high prices. And what else? The supply, no, now we let's only talk about supplier. So supply, not supplier, sorry, consumer, right? Consumer. So what about the consumer? Consumer will not be benefited, or they will have a lower choice because there is less supply of the product. So yeah, so we are done with the questions. I wish or I hope you guys are doing the questions. Guys, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please share this video with everyone, whoever you think will benefit from this video. And yeah,